Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumbling through, fumbling through. Fumbling through, fumbling through. Fumbling through!
More.
Drown your sorrows with a death dirge and welcome to Fumble Through, a podcast whose last will and testament is a dead giveaway. You guys had one job. You had one job. Make it. Look, I'm upset. There was a death of a character. I don't know if you'll notice, but I am still wearing, last week, I wore
Yeah, but it
this
wasn't an
shirt.
effective character.
What
Yeah.
does this shirt say, Lindsay?
Plus 20 shirt of smithing.
No, smiting. I have not taken it off since. It is now my lucky shirt. I am rubbing it on
think you can
everything
take
that
it
I
off if
can
you want
find.
to.
I'm a
No,
little confused. Lindsay, what are you doing here? When Mikey's character died, he left the podcast.
Yeah, actually, hand over the character sheet.
You do that if you want. It's here
No,
somewhere. There you go.
see, I
There you
wouldn't
go.
let that slide. But
There's, D&D, there's always a way to be resurrected,
True,
Just go wait
true,
for one
true,
of you
true.
guys to get level 20 or something.
Sorry, did I mention that his corpse turned to ash? It's weird when you get frozen
Ash.
to death.
yeah.
It just turned to ash from Pokemon.
It's a solid ash inside a
It's freeze
frozen-
burn.
Yeah.
Look, now I've messed up my little spiel and
have
stuff.
you?
But well, that's right. That's right, friends. It is memorial time here in the Fumble Factory. The loss of a character and the proof that the GM can actually kill Lindsay's character. Talk shit at me some more, Lindsay.
I was going to say, to
talk
be fair,
shit at
it
me
did
some more.
fake long enough, eh?
That did take you 100 episodes.
As with every ending, though, there is a new beginning. So I am really super interested to see what bullshit you've cooked up for us and
Well,
how you
everyone
can do
knows.
some psychic damage. No, it's not. It's not the character part. It's the psychic damage and putting
right, yeah.
people to sleep. That I'm trying to see how you get to those two elements back
You're
into
the
a
only
new
one that
character.
suffers psychic damage from my character.
It's off. Out again.
Yeah, I come psychically damaged. Emotional damage. Moving on. We are here for another week, and I have a really big favor to ask of all the listeners who are out there. Please subscribe to our channels. It seems that there are quite a lot of people who are listening who still haven't actually subscribed or haven't subscribed to multiple things that we're doing. So it would be really helpful for us, and it'd help us go a long way if people actually went onto Facebook and subscribed, went onto Twitter. No, we don't do Twitter
We don't
anymore.
do Twitter anymore. I mean, it's there, but we don't really.
It's there, and
watch it.
Instagram and subscribed. If you haven't subscribed on Apple
TikTok.
Podcasts, do that. On Spotify, just subscribe on them, even if you don't use them. iHeartRadio, whatever that is. Heart Radio?
iHeartRadio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
But Spotify's the best place to listen to us if
Yeah.
you're going to.
But go on all the other ones.
When
and
Justin
do it.
says subscribe, he means like and or follow on the respective places.
Like and subscribe.
That's YouTube.
Hook in.
Yeah. It was like it's like when somebody does like a funeral
Yeah.
online. I like to like and subscribe just for the next one. See what they bring out next.
Good.
No, it's
So-
not. Usually they don't bring out in the funeral. It's putting away.
Well, depends.
If you have to bring it back out, it's
Depends how old the crowd is. So, but I guess what that means is the more people that do that, the more that we can capitalize on it and we can do stuff, because we are all actually itching to get some stuff to give away to people.
That's right. We've got options. Lots of options.
We just need to
What have
actually
we
get
got?
some partnerships to
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
do it so that we can get them out there and stuff. And the more that you guys help us, the best we can do for that.
If you are liking and following, feel free to also do a rating, because the ratings will promote
And a
us
comment.
right up. Yeah. I was
Something like Justin's super sexy. It'd just really help me, right?
I was talking to the guys at Spotify just the other day. I was on an online masterclass at 3:00 in the morning talking to the guys at Spotify, and they said, "Who are you?"
Yeah, I told you not to call here. Anyway, Lindsay, can you do a social plug?
yes, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And TikTok.
Not Twitter.
I was going to say, we're not engaging in Twitter. You
Facebook.
literally just said that.
Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram.
TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok.
TikTok.
FDI.
I'm not allowed to go on TikTok. Luke's not allowed to go on
That's
TikTok. We have problems.
I got some really cool
Side
ideas. I
sketchy
really
as
need to
shit.
get you guys in a room together and
We're going to
Alone
put
in a
you on
room.
TikTok.
No, that's fine. We can
That's fine.
be
We'll
on
be on
TikTok, but we
TikTok.
can't
Be on TikTok.
The problem is that we get on TikTok and the sun goes down.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, let the sun go. Sorry.
I'm not letting my son do anything near you. Thank you.
Way to make it weird, Justin.
Speaking of weird, what do you got for me to drink?
So
I'm in a mood.
Memorial
Well, we got this
episode.
20% now.
I spent an hour and 20 minutes at the alcohol shop today.
Drinking without
Just-
buying.
Well, yeah,
Just
looking.
trying. Like it's like when you take a grape.
Today is a memorial beverage. I was looking for something because we've lost a character. I was looking for something to pour one out. And today we have a alcoholic ginger beer made with pure spring water from the
springy
Beechworth area.
Yeah.
It's a Bilson's.
oh, Bilson's.
Oh, that's great.
Nice.
Oh.
in
Why
honor
have you
of-
drawn an
Find
ass on
this
all of
stuff,
them?
honestly.
Well, this
My wife
took a
loves
bloody hour and a half. I was
Bilson's.
looking for something with a bar on it. I was
this
looking for
is-
something. We were almost going to drink ice wine tonight.
This is a delightfully tall. It's
It's a tall can.
yeah. It's like Red Bull. It's like a Red Bull extended Red Bull.
It's a little
can.
thinner than that. It's more like a shake weight. Lime, if you like it.
Yes, please.
Oh, lime. if
Yeah,
you
my
want to.
wife loves Bilson's. She's gone through all the flavors she can get
They have-
lately.
they have
This
a
hasn't
bunch of
been one
flavours.
them. Yeah.
The Tutti Frutti was one of the options for tonight, but I thought
I
let's.
think my can might have been compromised, actually. It was, before I opened it, it was like, it was doing this.
Do you want to go halves on this one then?
Hey, Brett, chuck me a lime and I'll try and catch it in my glass.
Yeah, there's no carbonation in that. at all, eh?
halves with me.
Well, I'm going to take a full one then because it was my character that died.
Yeah. Well, Luke just poured one out for JR.
Yeah, he just pulled one out for jail.
Oh, dearie me, that's good.
It's no orangutan, but it is good.
Oh, I quite like it. I do love me a ginger beer.
The problem with Bilson's
do
is it doesn't
enjoy it.
taste alcoholic. So
There's-
like all
there's
their
no
other
problem.
flavors just taste
There's
like
more in there
just
too.
drinking soft drinks, but they're standard drink.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
To
Cheers.
JR.
To the dead, to the living.
All I know is if there is ice flying, you're probably going to die. Because both characters that have died on this podcast have died in an icy grave.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's very
Oh,
nice.
hello, Bilsons.
You can taste the mineral water.
It's very refreshing. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, look, if he's not, I know that we've got a little bit in the extra can. Do you want to share that amongst the three of us?
I'm okay. You guys help yourself. Founded on the values of quality, craftsmanship, and commitment to local is Bilson's. It feels light because it's only 3.5%. It's a third of our normal beverage.
It does feel like that.
It is
I
a
know I'm a
lot.
fast drinker here, but
It
you
is
have to give it all to me.
a lot less alcohol than usual. So hopefully we won't fall asleep and
Very refreshing. Very
kill
refreshing.
someone.
Maybe we can keep this episode to under an hour.
It's only one standard unit per can, so we can get another one in.
Is it one?
Yep.
Well, that's good.
Perfect.
That's great.
I like them like that because you can totally track what you're doing.
Yeah,
Like
perfect.
Like the old Bolter Captain
Well,
Sensible.
I've got some Peronis in there, the cans that are 2 standard drinks a can.
Yeah.
But right on like one of those. And
right
that's-
on the nose.
Yeah.
One of those.
I like that there's like a haunted house on the cover with like, I know it's not supposed to be, it's supposed to be a brewery, but the two birds flying around make it look like a haunted
yeah,
house.
it does a little bit. The dead body doesn't help.
And is that a lady in the window looking back at me with 3 men and a little lady?
Hiding from
All
the
in the
birds.
same room.
I love the fact, and this is what, like, when I read this, it kind of sealed the deal when I was looking at this drink. It really made me think of JR, where their byline here is "Make it amazing or don't make it at all."
Yeah, I like it.
This is delicious.
Mm.
That is like a summer.
It came out of nowhere.
What happened?
He just burped on.
No, I didn't burp. That was just an inside. That was a stomach noise from gastric distress and KFC and all of it together.
He's so full of shit, his body's trying to squeeze it out
In
involuntarily.
every possible orifice.
I will explode by the end. You remember in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory when Violet turns
Yeah.
into a violet?
Yeah.
Just don't do it on the driveway.
Violet.
How much did that set you back, Brett? They're great. Dan Murphy's?
Yeah, Dan Murphy's for this one.
Dano's nice.
Well, I needed to have a big range to try and find something that would pay homage to JR. And
Certainly the range there.
well, it took a while, and it was slim pickings. I thought there'd be some bardic something somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Anyway,
Yeah, how much is a 4-pack of this? All right, good. Moving on.
either I can't remember or I don't want to say. It's kind of like when you guys go to the dice shop.
What? Everyone
I never go to the dice shop.
Everyone
Brett. I
knows
don't know
your
what
name.
you're talking about, mate.
The guy there knows you and is like, welcome, good customer.
I feel like
Me, that was me the time.
What the hell is going on?
It's the Bilsons.
It's bringing up
Trying to resurrect.
It's bringing up things from our soul.
Just like Bilson Moon likes to be in your throat.
Bilson's makes you bilious.
Yeah.
I have had to go to the dice shop because,
Oh,
new
Oh,
character,
of
new
course.
dice.
We haven't seen them. They're bagged
no,
up.
I'm not revealing them until the character is revealed.
Fair enough.
Right, so a couple episodes away.
You can play all the NPCs for now, right?
Is your character ghost-like?
Oh, is this a new game that we're going to do? Is your character mineral?
I reckon, no,
No.
I reckon we should roll now to see what his character
We already
is.
did
already
this.
know.
No, I mean, like, now we'll do it again.
We already did it. We
Spent all
built
that
it
time
on
doing
the,
it.
Yeah.
on the podcast.
I've never heard of a paladin dragon before, but I'm looking forward to it. All right. So that's the beverage, the Bilson's ginger beer.
Nice.
It made us a
We're
little
missing
bit
a chrono-
silly.
We're missing
Dan Gassy.
JR's.
Well,
no.
there's normally a dicey question.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
well,
dicey question.
I was
yeah.
going to say, Lindsay,
I forgot about that bit.
Lindsay, aren't you running the dicey question
I'm
today?
saying this because I'm editing and I'm sick of doing 2-hour episodes. So I'm just trying to move us
So I'm
along.
moving
Got
on.
all that gold. Gold. Always believe in yourself.
Oh, lots of content. Lots of incontinent.
Okay, so we got one from a.
All right.
Let me scroll back up.
This is a dicey question, by the way, something that we...
Is it a good one?
Well, I'm going through a few that I actually logged on to my other Facebook account and found some dicey questions.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So
Okay.
we just asked
Subscribe
our
to
community
Lindsay.
engage with us, and
I
they're like, "We
apologise.
bloody well have been."
Well, I didn't know they were sending them to me directly.
Where would they send them to you?
If you
042
post them on
we
the
need to
Facebook
clarify.
page.
0424.
Oh,
Okay, this one's from Brendan Gill,
Okay.
and he wants to know what the funniest character you have created or played with. So mine, I'll go first because we've literally just seen him.
Die.
Was J.R. Lockwood. He was fun. I found him funny. The end.
My favorite character that I think I've ever played was a character in I think I've talked about this, but he's a character called Wyke Corey, Hero of the Realms, who was a...
I've told us before. I don't think you've mentioned that on the podcast before.
He's a sorcerer, Thorthwa. He was a Thorthwa. You were there that night too, and he was the most ineffectual character. But everything that had to happen, he was like, "I shall do it as I am the hero of the realms," which was great. But the best part is that I got the voice, Wyke Corey, hero of the realms. I am a Thorthwa, and a guy walked in with a bit of a speech issue who sounded
Is the word you're
exactly
looking for embodiment?
like that. And I was like, oh, God.
Was that the same
But
night
I
that-
just pushed through.
we went to that Michael Jackson convention.
Yeah, that's the same one.
That was a great
That
night.
was the time before COVID, and
was.
people wore masks, and we were absolutely astounded
Yeah.
by it. Like, that's every
Ridiculed them
day
almost.
now.
Yeah, that's just a
And
given, isn't it?
yeah, and now we were like, oh, that's old hat. Two people walked in because they had they were sick, and I looked at Luke, and I think one of us was like, "Is this a Michael Jackson convention?"
That was all you. That was all you, Justin.
It was. Didn't want to take credit for comedy.
No, it was good. No, did make me laugh a lot of the time.
There's a lot more to it. Anyway, Brett.
It's hard to think beyond Flopsy. I've had a couple. It's not like they're funny characters, but there are funny parts about the character. So there's another game we're playing at the moment where my character got thrust into leadership because he has some charismatic ability, but he doesn't. So his idea of leadership is just to yell leadership. like literally in the middle of the halls. Leadership, and
I'll give you one.
yeah,
A female character that you played that had the same voice as the dressmaker from The Incredibles.
well, I was just about to get there. We did a test for Tasty Doom, another podcast.
That's right.
We were
yeah.
testing, working with them on trying to get something going, and did a little test online to see what would happen, and made up some characters. And it was a space. I was a space gnome sorcerer lady, but she talked like Edna from The Incredibles, which we now know is incredibly inappropriate.
What does that sound like?
Oh, darlings, yes, darlings, come on, we're going over there. Yes, come, let's go. Yes.
Why is that incredibly inappropriate?
Well, because many
said
people
it's not a
die
joke. Yeah.
in The Incredibles.
Oh, right.
He's got a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I was trying to think. Yeah, my kids were watching that just the other day, and I was trying to think. This came
The
up
body
in
count
conversation.
was
What
big,
it was?
yeah.
It? Yeah. Still didn't notice.
So Nano Digit, I think, was her name, and she was fun.
Yeah.
But only fun in like you get to embody a character and be kind of flamboyant. And I think that's where JR was.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't funny.
I thought he was pretty funny.
There was nothing
Funny,
funny
but-
about. There was not comedic funny.
What? He made my wife laugh out loud.
He was Jerry
from a
Lewis
podcast.
funny.
No,
That's
but he did his hideous laughters, and he always had a good quirk.
Not always.
Quip.
Literally, my last one was really crap.
Nice to see you.
It was really bad. But yeah.
What about you, Luke?
Well, I'm thinking it was a character that I played in a work game, which is a female dwarf fighter that came from a village where all the men had basically gone off to war and been killed. So she was desperately trying to find a guy that she could shack up with and have a family. I kind of based the whole persona around like almost like a Carry On movie.
Death by snoo.
Well, a little bit like that, where she was always jumping in trying to protect the like the young men in the group. So, young man, are you that young man that's going to make me warm at night? Yeah, that kind of. Yeah,
Did you use the
that's
accent?
that voice.
That
Yeah.
voice, yeah.
So
And
I need
he's,
to ask.
he's sexually harassed many of our
I
co-workers.
actually got
Yeah.
cautioned by the DM at the time because they couldn't actually deal with the fact that I was a little bit too full on.
Yeah, I was going to say, when does sexual harassment in a fantasy game played at work become a thing?
When you're laughing.
when you when you cupped someone's buttocks.
Yeah.
I still want to know why you don't do voices at our table.
Well, this is good. I think is like as the the Englishman here, I can only really give a range of English accents.
Well, that was a
That was a
woman.
good one.
No,
That was
that's,
a-
a,
yeah,
that's still an English accent.
if I go outside of that, then I'm
I think you do pretty good voices when I
Can you do a
hear
French
do
accent?
no
imitations of
No,
people.
Chinese accent?
I do imitations of people.
Yeah.
Like an Asian accent?
No.
No. I've heard you do the Data from the Goonies.
I've heard you do short round.
Yeah, I've heard you do short. It was the same person. Something shoes. He so doesn't want to do it.
There's no time for love, Dr. James.
Well played.
It's not my character, but one of my first games I played was with Justin and Mikey, where they were both clerics of Soon.
No, Mikey was a cleric of Soon. I was a swashbuckler
All-
of Soon.
All
though.
I recall, so Soon was his god of love, and they would visit hedonism. They would visit the brothels. Mikey would talk about, he'd actually get up and put his leg up on
Well,
the
there's
chair.
the ones that run around in just basically loincloths.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he would go, yes, I've got this, very short skirt, no underwear, puts his leg up on the table, on the chair, and does a big, soliloquy, and, it was so much fun. And, they'd go cure disease every morning on themselves.
Back to work just to get rid of the hangover and anything else.
But like all bases covered, and the characters were flamboyant as shit. Fantastic. And they were good character, very, very effective. But, you'd walk into town and you two would just
I say, look over there. That looks like a jolly good place to hang our hats.
You
and our
didn't.
pads.
You didn't need someone else to kind of rally the troops. These two would just go, "Yep, chaos this way," and would embody it, and it was so much fun. I just remember I didn't have to work hard to be in that party because you just carry in the wake of these two characters who there was a lot to clean up
At the brothel?
With a
Or-
towel. With a bucket and a mop.
Yeah, prestidigitate that.
Yeah, I think the Drows didn't like to see it in the Underdark light white because it was all blue.
I like that. That's very good.
Well, without further ado, let's get back to our bland
Well,
characters.
I was going to say, is that the beginning of a multitude of questions, or is that just the one that we're doing tonight?
Oh, it's someone I went with. That was the first. I can do another one.
Yeah, there was a quick one that you sent through today.
Yeah, this one is from my daughter.
Yeah.
She wants to know, do you like Pink?
I like Pink. I think she's great. I like a lot of her songs. I particularly like Get the Party Started. It's one of my favourite party songs. But Pink's got a huge range. I love the fact that she does acrobatics. And she seems
wonderful.
like a down-to-earth kind of artist who just likes the artistry.
I mean,
And Lady Marmalade.
personally, I like to get 2 in there.
That's what she said.
And 1 in the...
Lorelei keeps telling, because we gave Lorelei a pink feature wall. And she wants everything pink. She wants her bed painted pink. She wants all the other walls and the ceiling painted pink. And I'm like, no, you just, Daddy just likes some pink bits. He doesn't want everything pink.
I'm not coping.
No time for that, Daddy Jones.
I am not coping at this end of the table.
You'd have thought a 3.5% would be the end of us.
2.5.
Justin?
No.
No, I don't like pink.
I don't see colour, Lindsay.
Just accents.
You're like a lizard. You just see black and white.
That's correct.
Good times.
And so, I bring you back to a forest. A forest in the middle of the mountains, the Neverwinter Wood, where 2 characters stand alone. There were once 3, but a blue-shaded Jedi Master of a little halfling just walks off into the distance, shivers a little, disappears.
Hang on. He's an ice statue, isn't he?
Hmm?
He's an ice statue here.
He's not a nice statue at
Oh,
all.
I thought he was frozen.
Let it go. The
Let it go. Sorry, here. Sorry.
do you want to build a snowman?
That's how my daughter has been waking me up lately, because she's so into that movie at the moment. She comes in, opens up my eyelid, and goes, "Do you want to build a snowman?" And I'm just like, "No!" Like the last
In
3
Queensland,
mornings,
no.
last 3 mornings in a row.
That's great. And so the Neverwinter Woods fall silent. Yet, in the distance, you've seen a dragon fly off, bleeding, icicles of blood dripping, leaving a very obvious trail all the way to the summit of the Neverwinter Mountains.
Meridius will quietly walk over, double check that JR isn't revivable, and pick up the book that he's been writing in. And he'll sit down, and in stony silence he'll just sit quietly. Every now and then he'll write a little bit in the book, and it takes him a while, but over time he writes a passage in rock-like fashion, steadfast, purposeful, without any kind of grace, without any kind of airs. And then quietly he stands, and probably with Nightcrawler, he'll beckon him over to the side of JR's body, still icy. He stood beside many fallen companions before and has completed this task begrudgingly too many times before. He never thought it would happen to JR, mainly because JR said it wouldn't. And he looks to Nightcrawler and kind of somberly says, "We gather here to bid farewell to a legend in our midst, a man whose words danced like the wind, like melodies, capturing our hearts and igniting our imaginations. We will mourn the loss of J.R. Lockwood, known to many as the courageous halfling bard who wrote under the pseudonym Bilson Moon." And he's reading this from his book that he's just written in as a kind of postscript to the works of J.R. His journey was one of valour, friendship, and a pursuit of justice, and a pursuit of carnal knowledge. Julius Regina, or JR as he was fondly called, embarked on his first adventure in Phandalin with a newfound companion, me, Moradius. And I'm a man who was ever out of place in the world. Along the way, fate united us with Nicron, the Aarakocra Firebird, forming a trio whose destinies intertwined in ways we couldn't yet fathom. Phandalin became our sanctuary, a place where we could defend its people from the looming threat of Cryovane, the young white dragon terrorizing the land. Together, JR and us, his companions, valiantly completed numerous quests, our deeds becoming legendary tales whispered by fireside storytellers. And he turns to Nicron and said, I think JR would like that little bit of license. From the treacherous encounter with the fearsome Manticore at the lighthouse to the daring rescue of Adabra Gwyn, risking our lives without hesitation, JR and the Stonebirds, as we were known then, proved our unwavering loyalty and courage. The gnomes of Nomengard owe us their freedom as we faced the king's fear of a mimic in their midst. The Camel Toe Mine became a battleground where we confronted a nest of were-rats, our unified strength overcoming the horrors that lurked within. In Connieberry, we faced a horde of orcs and giants, vanquishing them with unwavering resolve. And we were threatened to be torn apart by the orcs of Talos. JR stood firm, refusing to let chaos consume the land. But it was the encounter with the deceased Tanamir Galagonda, the renowned dragon slayer, that brought us closer to the ultimate goal, retrieving powerful weapons to aid in the battle against Cryovane. We unknowingly stepped into the jaws of fate. As the young dragon emerged from the shrouded woods, JR prepared to unleash the might of his words, seeking to end the age-old adage of sticks and stones. Yet, in a cruel twist of destiny, Cryovane imprisoned JR in his tomb of unyielding ice, where beneath the frozen veil our beloved bard now rests, his voice silenced, his tales left unfinished. We weep for the songs he will never sing, for the tales that will never be spun from his nimble fingers. But let us not mourn solely for the loss of JR Lockwood, for he was more than a bard, more than a warrior. He was a beacon of inspiration, a light that shone brightly even in the darkest of times. His melodies carried hope to those who needed it most. His words wove tapestries of courage and determination, and his penis proved many long nights of pleasure to the ladies and men across the land. Remembering him from his unwavering spirit, for his infectious laughter that echoed through the taverns and campfires alike, recall his kindness, his willingness to stand up for those who couldn't defend themselves. Cherish the moments of camaraderie and friendship he shared with us, for it was in our bond that the true strength of our fellowship lay. J.R. Lockwood, Julius Regina, Bilson Moon. His names may change, but his essence remains etched in our hearts. Let us honour his memory by carrying his legacy forward to continue the fight against injustice, and by filling the world with stories that inspire and unite. Farewell, dear friend. May your soul soar among the stars, your melodies forever echoing in the realms beyond. Though your journey has reached its end, your spirit shall live on, woven into the very fabric of our adventures, forever remembered as J.R. and the immortal Stonebirds. And at that point, Moradius turns to Nicron, and he says pointedly at Nicron, and to that point I make this pledge. To ensure that JR never dies, we shall expand this tomb of legendary dragon slayers. We shall clear the Camel Toe mines from the were-rats and leverage the building of the talented dwarves who lay within. We shall rally the people of Phandalin, Falcon and Xanth and Ophelia, Don John Raskin, Nerkly and Korboz, Barthen and Adabra, Tybor and Harbin. And we shall defeat Cryovane in JR's name, and here we shall lay Cryovane's body next to Azdraka's as a warning to the dragons of Neverwinter. Here we shall lay JR, and we shall build a shrine to all those that would stand against the evil dragons of the realm. Here we shall ensure the songs and stories of JR will live on, and in doing so, immortalise him and his works forever. We come, he stares up at the mountain, we come for you, Cryovane. Hide in your worthless hole, cower in your frosty peaks, for Moradius comes for you. Like the rock, that's will is endless and eternal. You are dead, Cryovane. You just don't know it yet. And then he turns and walks away.
As you close the book, you notice an envelope slightly slips out, and on it is written, "The last will and testament of J.R. Lockwood."
Can you read that to us in JR's voice?
I can. I, Julius Regina Lockwood, residing at Sugar Notch Manor, declare this to be my last will and testament, revoking all and prior wills and codicils. Article 1. Executor. I appoint any surviving members of my party or the discoverer of this letter on my rotting corpse as an executor of my estate. If executor is unable or unwilling to serve as an executor, I guess I'm shit out of luck. Article 2. Disposition of property. I direct my executor to pay all of my just debts and funeral expenses as soon as practical after my death. I give device and bequeath my property and assets as follows. To Maradius, who craves a quiet life and seems to have some jealousy towards Nicron's spells. I leave him my hat of wizardry, and 1/3 of my wealth and ongoing sales from Bilson Moon novels. To Nicron, I leave him my favourite quill. He seems to eye it every time I whip it out. I also leave him 1/3 of my wealth and ongoing sales from Bilson Moon novels. With the remaining 1/3 of my wealth, I would like an orphanage to be set up at Sugar Notch Manor to take care of any illegitimate children I may have sired through the years. I direct my executor to arrange for my funeral or memorial service in accordance with my wishes. And then it's all a whole heap of legal jargon.
The quill.
He obviously wrote that after he got the loot and
It was before I got all
the flute of bird, whatever it was, or
I forgot about the flute. I had that at that point, but I forgot about that. The staff of bird calls. I think you heard that, don't you?
No, I don't think I did that.
It was before I got the cloak. It was before I got the
what
loot.
is happening with that cloak of billowing?
It's on my body, I guess.
I think Maradius' plan is to put it on your statue or whatever memorializes you, so there's a constant billowing.
I'm dead. I have no idea what's going on. But you can now, if you wear my hat, you can now cast one cantrip
Can I?
once a day.
What's that? 15d8 worth of
You can do firebolt.
psychic damage.
Fireball? That's not a
Firebolt.
cantrip. Oh, okay, I was going to say.
You just need to pass a DC 10 intelligence check.
Just, he says, just. Maradius has still got his distaste for magic, so while he'll take the hat and cherish it, he will put it over 10 foot away from him when he sleeps with his sword and shield.
Did you read that out then, basically?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, cool.
so he kind of read what he wrote in the back of the
So
book.
I'll grab the quill then, definitely. Put that away.
Oh, the will we would have read together because we would have gone, oh, look at this, check this
Okay,
out.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, an orphanage. I thought he was going to build a clinic for syphilis.
Well, we have quite the tasks ahead of us.
Hmm.
But first, surely, the dragon.
Well, one would think we should go straight up there into the dragon, but what do we do with JR's body? We can't leave it here for the wolves, surely. If only there was some ghostly, mighty person that could inter it, just for a short while, until we return this sword to where it needs to go.
Isn't the... Yeah, no, but that's bound to you, isn't it?
What?
The squire.
What squire?
Haven't you got a squire?
I don't know. I know something's been beating up on me and then it stopped. Something else put this shield on my arm. That was useful.
GM, what's the gig, GM? What's going on with the ghost?
What ghost?
Can I also ask?
The spirit, the thing that was trying to kill us that now isn't trying to kill us, that gave him a shield.
Squire.
I don't know. What is the ghost? You
Well,
see nothing around you.
We've
you
been
see
standing
nothing.
here for quite some time. Like Maradius has
Shall
been
we?
sitting there for a
Okay,
while.
so then shall we put his popsicle into the area where we got the sword from for now, and come back for it later?
I think we should go back to town and rally our resources.
Here's a question, actually, just like out of gaming, like with this whole frozen breath thing. How long does he stay frozen for? Is it just like he's normally frozen, so once it warms up, he thaws out, or is it like a magical frozen?
Say again?
Is he magically frozen and will stay magically frozen, or is he just frozen and he thaws out when it gets a bit warmer?
No, he's like, he got frostburn. He got frostburn to death.
He's not an actual frozen
So
statue.
there's
No,
nothing
he's
there.
not
Just
frozen. No, he's a
cold.
dead body who was. Imagine a gust of supernatural frost went through him, and it's almost like he got frostbite
Some more
and
blood.
frost
So you're black
burns.
now.
Black and blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3rd-degree freezer burns
Okay,
over
cool.
all of his body.
I have a question before we move on, just because I'm never going to use it now. What did my loot do?
Hmm?
The loot. The magical loot that I never got to
you
identify.
gave a third of it to Maradius and a third.
I just want to know what it does, because you were like, oh, you wait till you know what it does. I want to know what it does.
Mm.
Well, you know what?
We should have found that out when we
You're
slept.
not going to find out until someone figures out what the loot does.
Can I look at the loot? Let me have a look at the loot. I reckon we need to put him in that tomb for now.
I think we're going to have to have a rest.
Oh, how injured are you?
Remember that breath that killed JR?
Yeah, okay,
I was
good
in
point.
front of him.
I forget. I was way out of range for most of that. Yeah. Can I do an Arcana check before we go to sleep on this loot then, please?
You don't need to. You get to understand the properties of the thing just on a long rest.
That's correct.
Yep.
Seriously?
Yeah.
There is,
Fucking point of a D20.
in this game.
Don't start, Brett. Please.
Okay. All right, we having a rest then? We're going to chill?
Let's take him downstairs and have a rest.
Okay, cool.
So we pick up his body, pick up the bones of the horse, head on downstairs, and put his body just at the opening to the cave where Lady Alagondra is.
Mhm.
Not
Lady
in there.
Alagondra.
Yeah. Not fully in there, not making a thing.
Mhm.
Hello, we're just we'll come back for this later when we return the sword, okay? Just if you can take care of it.
Describe how you're interring. Are you just dumping the body?
Yeah,
Are you
when-
putting it into one of the tombs? Are you gonna?
We'll
Ju-
wrap
like
it in
where-
the cloak maybe? The billowing cloak so it looks inflated.
Okay.
Would that be how that works?
Yeah.
You reckon?
I think
So
Set
would
it-
it
set it-
levitate him almost like a
we'll
hot air
just
balloon?
set it to constant billow.
Cool.
All right. Yeah. So how do you intend on?
At this point, we just lay him inside that vault, just inside the door on the floor.
Mhm.
I don't want to upset anyone else's internship.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's the longest internship they've ever had.
cover him in his cloak, cover his face. I think we leave his book here with him. No, we'll take it for safekeeping.
Yeah, take the book.
And you guys are.
But we can leave his full library of Bilson Moon novels here.
Well, they're all first edition prints. They're going to be worth a lot of money now he's dead.
And you guys are resting for the evening.
It's true.
I think we will.
Yeah. So you kind of, which room are you going to rest in? Are you going to rest in the Lady Alagondra where the dragon is?
Yeah.
And I assume that maybe you put Bilson Moon at the jaw of the dragon,
Sure.
maybe sort of in a place of prominence, I guess.
Respectful
until
place.
until interment into the tomb or wherever you feel fit. I thought perhaps you might stuff him into that tunnel, trigger the trap, and make it all fall in and bury him in there.
It's a quick burial
At least
that way,
he's
but
safe.
Chuck him into one of the pits so that he goes onto the rusty spikes. But the funny thing around what's going on with you, Maradis, is like you start taking some stuff out of your pack, and you go to put your bedroll down. Your bedroll smooths itself out. Just on it, so you roll it out. It's all wrinkly. It's like your bedroll smooths out.
Oh.
Your pillow kind of comes out of the pack and
Fluffed.
gets put onto there. You
Maradius
see,
gets fluffed.
and even as you are lying down at night, you see a whetstone come out and start sharpening the blades of your axe.
Oh, cool.
And and the sword gets shiny.
I mean,
You can
Maradius is
see
a
it
bit
all
perturbed by all of
manipulate.
this. He thinks, this is some kind of, it's not a far cry from magical chicanery.
Mm.
He doesn't mind a potion.
Magical or supernatural?
Well,
Is there a difference in Maradius's mind?
no, at this point, he doesn't know enough. He shied away from all that kind of stuff to not know the difference. He does know that, he'll drink a potion because he thinks it's just medicine and refuses to believe there's magic in it. He'll think the sword is just a good, well-built one, as is the shield.
Mm-hmm.
And likes the bite of a dragon. So he's not too perturbed by that. He can talk himself around that stuff. But a floating whetstone, I don't think he's got much to kind of put that to bed. He's going to have to literally think on that overnight and kind of try and reconcile that.
There is superstitions.
He's not sure if this is JR. or if it's something else. But he thinks it could be the Squire, it could be JR, it could be both of them.
Could be Nykron messing with you.
It could be a.
If it was JR, you'd actually be getting fluffed.
Oh,
If it was Nykron, take 2d10 points of damage. Fire damage from 120 feet.
and call me in the morning.
peak damage.
The next morning comes around with the night really uneventful. Your pack seems to almost pack itself, Maradius, as in the morning as your things get put away and everything is stowed in very neatly, more orderly than usual. You know, I sense Maradius is a little bit like Drax the Destroyer, where he'd just grab stuff and shove it in his pack and it'd be all lopsided. There's no care to it, whereas things are getting folded and put, like your pack is neatly folded and put together.
I
And
think you mislabeled
everything's in
Moradius. He's a
order.
military man and things are very orderly in his pack.
I apologize. Things are even more orderly in your pack, perhaps
I think
even labeled.
He appreciates that everything's gone in the appropriate pocket in the appropriate way. Everything's cinched and everything's tied down.
Mm-hmm.
Belay that shit, yes.
And you get a sense of the instrument that you now hold, this lute that you have in your hands. Do you have any musical prowess at all?
I've dabbled in birdsong here and there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What about on the strings instruments?
Not with these claws.
Okay. You feel while you are attuned to this instrument that it might require somebody with some prowess of playing it. I mean, you could try to play it.
I wouldn't want to risk it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm more of a brass bird.
More of a
How do you-
bird man.
How do you blow a brass instrument with a beak?
With my cloaca.
Bam, 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 down in Birdland.
I had you picked as a bellbird.
Triangle.
And you set off. Whereabouts are you headed? So you know, and I misspoke before when I said the Neverwinter Mountains. It's actually the Sword Mountains, where the dragon went to the southeast.
Oh, well, then
So-
I'm not going there.
So that's where the dragon actually went. And you probably would have remembered that JR had a vision at some point where he saw the dragon in a place that's icy at the peaks of the Sword Mountains.
Well, I think, are we going to head for the dragon? Isn't that what we're about? We need to deal with this thing.
We could head back up to the mountain. I do feel we are slightly underpowered for what might come.
Speak for yourself.
I wonder if we should gather some resources at least to come, and if we are to not survive that, let them know what's happened to JR. Let them know what our plan is so that the rights on JR can be said properly, that our bodies can be retrieved. Otherwise we'll be lost forever at the top of that mountain, frozen in bullshit.
Our party seems to be lacking now the skills of a healer.
It does.
In fact, it always was. But we should recruit
It's very possible.
somebody with some skills.
Yes, somebody with some skills would be good.
I don't know why I stopped there. Sorry. Was not intentional. All right. Okay. Cool.
I think
So-
we should head back to town, regather our Cryovane will lick his wounds and he will be recovered by the time we get to him. We can't chase him as fast as he flew away. We should go back, gather as much resources as we're going to require to finish him once and for all.
Indeed.
Can you carry me?
I can try.
Hold me, Nitron.
There's a horse you can ride.
The eagles are coming.
This is what happens when I give them time to express themselves in character.
What?
They laugh at each other, Luke burps all the time.
Back to town?
Yep. Okay. So you want me to make a check or anything like that about flying with him?
Nah, let's just move along. He's not going to want to fly.
No.
As much as you don't like being in caves, he's not so
He's too
comfortable in
heavy
the
for you
air.
to carry.
Is he really?
Well, if you picked Brett up right now, would you be able to
I
travel
don't
long
have
distances with
wings
him?
right now, do I? So
Yeah, but it's the same. Like
Okay.
you're hollow boned and you've got a weight.
One
like
and a
your
half
wings are
people
used
is
to-
the downhill speed of an Arakukra.
1.5 people. One barbarian.
Yep.
Yeah. So you guys start heading to the southeast. What you do know is that the road to the southeast is something that you've
We did a
traveled.
long rest though, right?
Yes, you have done a long rest.
rest.
So you can move down. You know that if you move down that direction, you can either go straight to the east. That'll get you into the deeper into the Neverwinter Woods, and to
Foreshadowing.
where Falcon's Lodge is. You know that if you head northeast, you get to the loggers' camp from where you are. Sort of more south, you get. If you go southeast, you go to Fandolin. Almost, it's a southeast to get to Fandolin, and Fandolin is actually between you and the Sword Mountains where the dragon went. So where would you like to head at this point?
Yeah, my initial thought was to go to Falcon's Lodge, but actually, if you Fandalin's halfway between the two, that and the mountains,
We can
let's
talk
go
to
there.
Falcon. We'll
And
let
they're
Falcon
about
know.
equidistance, they're the same distance from you in this point. So it'd take just as long to get to Falcon's Lodge as it's going to take to get to Fandolin.
We can talk to Falcon with this stone.
Oh, that's true.
Let's check in
Oh,
with
stone's dead. It froze.
Oh, we'll check in with Falcon in the morning, make sure he's all right. There was an imminent orc attack. and-
I am. Hello? I'm not here right now.
You've got to hold it with your warm right hand.
You've reached Falcon.
Hello, Falcon, you there? Falcon.
I am here.
Fandolin it is then, right? Let's go.
So we're going to check in with Falcon, make sure he knows
Hello.
what's going on.
What? How can I be of service, Meridius?
We were sent here by Xanth to recover the weapons of Lady Allegondra, which we did, but were set upon by the dragon, and we have lost JR.
Where have you found yourselves?
Here, where we are.
Where is that?
If only we had a character who knew exactly where she was at all times. Damn you, Ophelia!
Are you lost?
No, we
Are you in need of rescue?
have you had the orc attack? Have the orcs attacked the lodge?
We, unfortunately, have left. We have traveled to Fandolin. It
Excellent.
seemed
We're heading there now.
perhaps there was too much at risk to stay with an imminent orc attack.
Very, very wise. Of course. We will be in Fandolin in, what's the ETA for Fandolin? As the Arakukra flies.
8 days.
As soon as possible.
I will keep a bottle of wine handy. Please give my regard to your two companions.
I repeat, JR is not coming home with us. He's going to stay at the Barrow for a while, for a long while.
He called a chill. He cannot travel.
Why has he done such a thing?
You may recall I just said we encountered Cryovane and JR did not survive the encounter.
Ooh, what is Cryovane?
The dragon.
And how do you know its name?
You told us.
Out of character.
Crap.
Divine intuition.
I thought Harbin told us.
He ran away. Cryovane!
I thought Harbin told us or someone told us.
No, I told you.
Fuck.
That was GM news for you.
Right, well, you know.
We didn't say
That's
how did
hilarious.
we know that, and he was a Pokemon saying his own name.
No. He's look, I guess that would be the name thrust upon the people by the dragon. So Cryovane, the dragon. You survived. Did you run?
No, it fled cowardly. We had it on the ropes. Unfortunately, we couldn't save JR from its dastardly breath, but I picked up a pretty cool sword. You should see it. Check it out. Nice and sharp. And of course, Nikron from afar was aerial bombardment like you wouldn't believe. I don't think Cryovane had much in it, and it fled with it for its life. When we shall come back, we shall regather our strength, and we shall do what was almost done once. We will finish the job.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
It will be a much quieter world without him in it.
Yes. half a man, twice a personality. All right, gotta go. Bye.
I'm sorry. I was having a moment of silence.
He's emphasizing the quietness.
Yep. Okay, so I've got
Let's
to
get
go.
moving. Yep.
Let's get moving.
What's your land speed?
I'm at 40.
Oh, cool. That's always, yeah.
And from the other side of the rock, like, you know, you,
But
you kind of hear a silence, and then from the other side of the rock, you just hear.
It's still on.
Why did he have to die?
Yeah, the rock is still on. You have to hold it with your warm left hand to turn it off.
Yeah, and you terminate your call with Falcon.
Hanging up now.
You hang up first.
Hold on.
No,
I
you
think I can
hang
hear my
up.
mum calling me. Hold on.
No, you hang up first.
We're going through a tunnel.
Yeah. So where you guys are heading straight for Fandolin? Fandolin?
Yeah.
All right. Takes you about a day to get to Fandolin.
Gosh, Forrest Gump.
I don't know why. It takes you about a day to get to Fandolin from where you are across. Eventually, you get into the tribal trail, and you're able to take parts of the tribal trail, which makes traversing the area a lot easier, and your travel a lot easier. It's also a bit more open space as you get down there. You start heading south off the trail along the road to Fandolin, and you enter into the city. Or it's not even a city, isn't it? The town. Yeah, so you start coming in from the north, past Barthen's Provisions, to Stonehill Inn and the Shrine of Luck. More south, if you will, to the Townmaster's Hall, to Harbin Wester's home, to the Lion's Shield Costa, and finally the southernmost building of note, which is the Fandolin's Miners Exchange.
Don't know about you, Moradius. I need a drink.
Absolutely. I think it would behoove us to go straight to the inn and pull down the posters that say that JR will be playing and coming up.
Once again, that smell of roasted meats and vegetables mixed with cheery ales and meads emanates from this warm and inviting roadhouse. The common area once again is dominated by that large stony hearth with chairs that sit all around it. But the chairs have been moved somewhat as a stage has been erected in there, and the chairs have been moved. There's a giant poster on the wall, and you can see in the poster a small halfling looking straight forward.
A small halfling.
In the post, a halfling.
Right.
Looking straight forward. Imagine just looking straight at the camera. Behind it, looking to the right, is a blue bird, and looking to the left behind him is a stony man. Then it says JR and the Stonebirds here.
This is our moment to shine.
Brady starts pulling the posters down.
What are you doing there? Toblin, the innkeeper, walks up to you. Where you can't do this. And he kind of, he reaches up. He's quite short, and he kind of pulls one of the posters out of your hand. What are you doing? Those posters took a long time for us to make.
My friend, I would keep one of them as a commemorative poster. Artworks of the deceased are always more valuable once they have passed.
You know what? In this town, we celebrate someone and their life. We don't pull them down and forget about them just because they ain't here anymore. We heard what happened. Falcon came in and told us what's there. He told us that your friend
Word travels fast.
had passed.
By the stones.
Why are you trying to erase him?
I'm not erasing him. He would hate for people to turn up to a gig that he would not be able to play to. It would be the worst in showman's, what he would call his showman ethic. I think if we don't pull them down, we should at least cover the dates and not say coming soon, but say never coming. It should be a first for JR as I think about it.
I think people would hate that. Tonight, it's been arranged that some people are going to come around and they're going to read some of JR's books together. And
commemoration.
we're having a bit of a vigil here.
Oh,
light a candle.
Oh,
A
let me,
tribute band.
It's well, it's not the greatest song in the world, but it's just a tribute. But they're gonna sit around and they're gonna read some of his old works under the name Bilson Moon. Some of the
Oh.
kids have decided that they're going to turn up.
are the
And,
children
you
going
know,
to perform some of those books?
Well, they've never heard them, but we're all looking forward to
A
leading
long
Falcon.
improv, perhaps.
Falcon actually brought some of his books. So apparently, Jr. Was quite the writer, and he was quite the
He
fan.
was. He was prolific, I think,
Yeah,
Good
he-
side.
in both his writing and his research of such.
He told us that it's probably not a place for kids, but we said, everyone has a right to mourn and to get over this time.
Speaking of mourning, it's been a long road, and we've been
Is it morning?
somewhat
It's
traumatized. We would very much appreciate drinking some food.
right away.
I'll
Kind of
I don't
walks
even know if
off.
I've got gold, but here we go.
Kind of walks off to and starts. You hears clatter clunch from the kitchen, and before long he comes out and he's got food and drink and ale for you and
Is there anything a bit more posh
Mhm.
than ale? Has it got anything like some top shelf stuff?
a wine, perhaps. Yeah, of course he does.
Free glasses.
Yep.
Ginger beer, I think it's. Bilson's ginger beer.
Brought to you by Dan Murphy.
I think we will raise a glass quietly to each other
Yep.
and leave one on the
Indeed.
bar for him. And once we finish drinking that, I'll take that glass over and just place it on the side of the stage. And then I'll take my seat where I normally would, wait for the meal. You going up to your bell pouch?
I am.
Yeah. All right.
A moment's
It's not long
Reflection.
before a large man enters the bar. You know him straight away. Falcon moves in. The trail of weariness is still upon him, but he comes from from upstairs where the lodgings are. Obviously, having come down, he soon sits with you. He's also got a couple of companions with him as well. You recognize each of them in turn. One of them is Ophelia, who says. The other one is a very old.
She does
hand-
backing vocals? Is
Yeah.
that-
a very old handmaid or his handmaid who says, "Hello, sir. It's good to see you again." And a young boy you can see walk straight out to the tables, and you also see Haben Wester's a brother. Does anyone know? Torben Wester, who says, "I say, I'm awfully sorry. He was quite a good chap, that one."
Yes, I don't think he will ever get tired of having his name sung. Even in death, he would appreciate people mentioning him and spreading his fame. Please do so. Carry on.
It's at that point where
Dinner's coming.
Well, Falcon stops for a second and he kind of gives you a weird look, Maradius. He looks you up and down and he kind of, his eyes rest on a sword that lies at your hilt and he says, "That is a fine weapon."
Yes, we found it in a tomb. I have to return it once we've finished with the dragon.
You
It's a loner.
have changed, my friend.
No, like the rocks and stones, I will be constant and forever.
There is an air about you.
We've
Something
been traveling for some time.
is different. You are holding yourself
Sorry about that.
taller.
I thought eat first, toilet later.
And your shoulders are straighter.
Well, sit, come, have a glass of wine, and I shall tell you a story of where I was able to stand toe-to-toe with a dragon and walk away. One doesn't make an encounter like that without feeling a bit more confident in one's abilities.
It's almost, Nigrin, it's almost like, when somebody says something and there's an enlightenment moment.
Yeah.
It's almost that enlightenment moment where you look at Maradius and you think, there is something different about him. Like, you've been traveling with him for the better part of the day. It's been sorrowful. It's been mournful. It's been mostly quiet. You've been up in the trees. But you kind of go and you go, there, he's not wrong. Like when he carries the shield and the swords by his belt, there's something about the way he's moving. There's something about him that seems to be a little more official or a little more heroic. that's probably the heir that we're looking for. Like, have you put on any new armor or anything during the
No,
last?
he's had his eyebrows done. That's what it is.
No, he's just got the shield and the sword. He doesn't put any armor on
And
because
it's just those, maybe the weight of those, or maybe something about them, but that you seem to be holding yourself different.
Is it?
Just with those two things on, yeah.
There'd be no point in doing detect magic because that's just going to ping the shield and sword. It's
Yeah.
not going to be like, yeah. All right.
Meridius just thinks it's down to having faced off and, tested himself against a dragon. I think
That would put a spring in your step, wouldn't
that,
it?
he's just a little bit more sure of himself.
It's a little bit more sturdy.
Yes.
And the night, what do you, how would you describe your evening? And
Just somber, I think, like drinking and eating and listening to the recitals of the common folk for JR's works.
Meridius has never been good at listening to the works of Bilson Moon. He finds it very hard to not feel uncomfortable with some of the more graphical parts of when it gets to like the 5th chapter, and it's less narrative and more action.
I feel
See,
like
Nycron finds it fascinating because
Right.
the whole copulation concept for other species is just bizarre.
See, Meridius knows how to get his rocks off.
I was just going to say, I was going to make a joke.
It's
It's like Meridius. I thought Meridius would be able to hide his heart on pretty well.
within the first kind of 5 minutes,
He's always erect.
during the opening volley of the book, you can see that that Corwin will have escorted Pell out of the room, being a 12-year-old
Yeah.
young man. Pell pops up near a window quite soon. You kind of see him listening outside as many parents
Both
take
hands
their
on the sill, Pell.
children out, and and the night sort of passes as people laugh, and there's a real kind of tone of that would embody the idea of Bilson Moon in the room of people laughing and enjoying themselves, and people kind of
Did they all put their horse leads in a bowl when they came in?
Horse leads in a ball. That's great. Nice.
Yeah, and drinks are flowing. At some point, Falcon will pull out a very nice bottle of wine, maybe a wine that you've never tasted before, a very fine Elvish vintage that is something quite special. And he raises his glass and toast to fallen comrades. We've had too many.
That's the most frustrating fucking voice ever. It really is.
Just not sure if he's finished.
I know, you never know.
Meridius is continually
you never
looking,
know where to cut in.
continually looking to Lycra to see if now's the time. Like, what,
I just shrug my shoulders. I'm
Yeah.
like, well,
Like, you guys do that, and Ophelia gets very upset that you interrupted her speech. Let that be a lesson. I did some
it's all JR.
asshole.
Righto, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Meridius will sit there as
So what's the plan
quietly.
from here, guys? I guess what's the plan now that we've come back to town? What are you going to do? What's
We're going to
the
restock.
intention?
We've rested. We need to restock. We need to
I think we
plan how we're going to take the dragon.
Meridius knows he needs to go and be humble for Adabra and try and get some of the medicinal bottles because we don't have any healing.
Mhm.
We'll go to the Shrine of Luck and just say a little prayer, I think, for JR to wish him on his way and to ask for light on our journey towards the dragon.
Mhm. Just make a perception check for me.
15, I think, because I don't have any. Yeah, 15.
Mhm.
Modifier.
10.
Yeah, throughout the evening, Nycron, you see a one of the townsfolk sort of arrive, a little bit red-faced, huffing like they've moved with a bit of haste, with a letter in their hand. They come up, whisper something to Falcon's ear, while Falcon's at the bar a bit further away. He kind of reads the note and he disappears out the door for a little while. He's probably out for 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes before he returns into the room and resumes, goes back to the bar, gets some more drinks, and then sits down.
Just out of context here, is there
Mhm.
anywhere in Fandolin that does do resurrections? That could do resurrections?
Erections.
Those two.
No.
Okay.
No, there is nobody that you know of.
Just chilling. Just chilling.
Like a villain. Yeah.
I'm replaying. I'm like in his mind is replaying. Could he have pursued the dragon? Could he have got a shot off before he got out of range? Could he have done something better? Could he have done something before JR was frozen?
And Meridius is going to do what he said. He's going to, go to the shrine. He's going to do that. He doesn't replay the moment. He's seen enough death to know that that's the luck of the dice. But he will start looking and asking for people to come with him. He'll ask Falcon. He'll ask Ophelia. He'll even go to Don John as much as he regrets it. And we'll try and, rally as many people to come with him, us, to defeat this dragon.
Meat shields.
I have been recruited. I am in charge of the town and the defenses of the people until we can find a safer place than this. I am going to need the strong arms of Ophelia and
just one arm.
the knives of Don John Raskin. He may be useless in a fight, but he is good at organizing people. The town of Phandalin needs strong arms to defend. Is this really the time that you need to leave? If you are, perhaps there is talk of a dwarven rune. I'm sorry, you were looking at your watch.
Do we think the dragon may come back here?
I think the dragon will take a little bit of time to lick its wounds.
There is talk of a ruin to the south of here, at the base of the stone sword mountains. A dwarven hold. Perhaps we could move the populace there, but we would need someone to scout it out. It is abandoned.
The one at Connerberry?
No, it is further south than that.
How many people are in Phandalin?
A town in need. It's a town indeed.
I think even if we travel to the dragon, by the time we get there, it will have healed. So we're going to be taking it on again at full health.
Correct.
So is it better for us to try and figure a way to either entice it to where we are, or are we maybe anticipating it's going to come at us anyway?
I think Meridius thinks it's gone home. It's taken a beating. It will either come back for revenge, but it's unlikely that it's got the power to find us and defeat us both, given the way we smacked it so hard so quickly. I think it will cower and try and figure out a way to gather its resources, find more treasure without having to encounter, it wants an easy picking. It wants a deer on the side of the mountain. It doesn't want seasoned fighters.
Roast chicken.
I think. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I just wondered whether we were overthinking that and like going to go running off and then find out, Phandalin's now just been hit by the dragon. You're like, we were just there, damn it.
But Marius will say to you, I don't mind this idea of Falcon taking charge of the town. That doesn't mean we need to run back at any moment when the town may be in danger.
And I suppose at the end of the day, if it's going to be coming back to, even if it attacks Phandalin, after it's done that, it's going to go back to where it's heading now. So we'll be there ready for it if it goes to Phandalin anyway. But in the meantime, what's the population of the town?
It's hundreds, couple of hundred.
Okay, so the idea is we can get a scout out this dwarven ruin, and then we're going to try and get hundreds of people to it.
That is my job.
Okay, so you just need to know
organize.
that's all right. So we've got the stones.
Yes.
Sorry, Falcon, I just want to hurry this up. We got the we got the stone, so we just go check it out and go, all goods, on you go. And then we carry on to the mountain.
It's on the way, right?
It is on the way to the mountain. Are you really intent on climbing the Sword Mountains to the Icespire Peak?
I don't need to climb.
We do need to get to the peak. That seemed the direction that the dragon was headed.
It is where JR said that he saw the dragon in a vision.
It does feel that way.
Perhaps unlike Nomengard or the Dwarven excavation, this hopefully will be the place where we can find solace and safety from the dragon.
Should just be a temporary measure.
Damn, this guy, he talks so bad. It is nice to see you, boys.
I just have to go to the bathroom. I'll be back soon.
Do you not remember me, Don John Raskin, at your service?
Is this the proprietor?
I am so sorry to hear of your loss.
I'll be back in a minute.
Oh, did I offend your friend?
We've been through an awful lot.
I would say that you have. He is holding himself different. Have you noticed that?
Everybody keeps saying it. I can't see it.
There
I
is
can't
something
see it.
different about
Just
that
how
man.
I hold it to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
He's carrying a bit extra weight, I'll say that. With being the shield and sword, I'd say.
It is ineffable. So you are heading down south, are you? That's what I hear. The talk around the town is that they have enlisted you to maybe scout out a new place for everyone.
Indeed.
And you're headed down that way?
We are. It's we're heading elsewhere. It's on the way, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we'll be able to let Falcon know whether it's an appropriate venue.
All right. Well, I wish you all the best. I've been asked to perhaps talk to the town here. It seems that their current mayor is not really good at holding speeches.
Have you... Sorry, still paying.
He really is holding himself different.
Sounds like gravel.
That backward grip is not good.
It's mine and I'll shake it as hard and as fast as I want to.
2 shakes and it's... Anyway.
Of a lamb's tail. Where were we?
Trying to move things on.
Have you seen Torben? Has he come out of his shack?
He has not. He refuses to come out until the dragon is dealt with. He's been once again holding court under that door of his.
Will he travel to the safe abode once it's secure?
I probably don't think he will. Even his brother will not get him in, but they've been fighting like cats and dogs every time they get near each other.
So he'd happily be left here, abandoned, on his own.
I
Easy prey for the dragon.
I'm not sure he understands the risk and the danger of that. He believes that if he stays here, other members of the town are gonna stay with him. But what he wants is some adventurers. He actually believed that you were going to be the ones that defeated the dragon. Unfortunately, your loss and the loss of JR has hit him hard, and there is a populace of the community that believes that this dragon is unbeatable.
Nonsense.
If only we had someone with JR's oratory skill to tell them what actually happened.
Indeed.
I was going to say, Justin, how much are you missing JR this session?
I miss Lindsey. Lindsey usually pushes the story forward. He picks up what I'm putting down. I do believe that I've been left with the 2 characters that are very introvert.
Indeed.
I'm looking for... We shall move off in a minute. Any companions that want to come with us to help us scout out this area, we will, but we will move on as fast as possible. If you can do what you can to secure the town and bring them along, follow Falcon's lead. He will do you right.
Mm-hmm. In the morning, you kind of wake up. You start prepping again. Your bag is packed for you. Your bed's made almost while you're kind of washing your face and all of that kind of stuff happening. And you kind of get your pack on your back and you start walking south, I guess, the both of you, at which you see a small figure moving forward. A figure that's probably about 3 foot high, running towards you. 4 foot high, let's give him. Running towards you, backpack in hand, small stature, a small sword packed to his side.
Does he look threatening?
And he kind
Can I
of
take a perception
runs
check?
up. You recognize him as Pell, Falcon's young ward. And he says, I'm going to come with you.
Pell.
It's time for adventure. Every person needs something that they can do.
Too dangerous.
Well, Pell, I
I'm
admire.
really strong.
Yes, I can see that. You carry that that toothpick there quite well. Where your skill is required, though, and where you are needed is where you should be.
You've not seen me shoot a bow. I'm really good at it.
Yes,
I'm
Pell.
mighty good at it, mister.
Of course you are, Pell. Anyone who's trained under Falcon is bound to have skills. But Falcon will sorely miss you if you are not there. Corbin,
Harvin?
the old dude,
What? Corvin.
Corvin will need you by his side to hold him up. He is not
Corvin-
as young as he used to be.
Corvin doesn't need me anymore. You know what? Nobody sees it. But this town needs heroes, and we need somebody to go. Nobody's going with you, mister.
You must be the hero they need to have with them.
They
not-
got Falcon. It doesn't get better than that. I could travel with you. I could hold you back.
There are hundreds of villagers. Your skills are needed here for the protection of all the townsfolk as they move to the location that we are about to scout. Can I give a roll of persuasion? I need to retire this dice.
Did you just call me a retard?
It's an 8. I rolled a 5. I'm double digits, single digits. Oh, and then I get a 19. Fuck you, dice.
You gotta let me come with you. You gotta. You just gotta.
We appreciate your pluck, young. I'm struggling here, Nikron, so any help you can give.
You just used one of those words from that book last night.
What? Unfortunately, our endeavors are for seasoned warriors, not for young, inexperienced warriors.
Oh, he's not inexperienced. Look. I understand you want to come with us.
Yeah.
We have just lost a companion.
I could be a good replacement.
No,
He was the same size as me.
I'm sure you're right. But as I said, you are needed here.
No one needs me here. Everyone just forgets who I am. No one listens to me. It's the only way someone's going to take me seriously.
Chin up.
Then you push him over in the mud and walk off.
Nobody loves you anyway.
Get out of here.
Can I take a stealth check? And I'll...
Yeah, how are you going to extricate? You get the feeling he's being quite insistent on
Pell?
coming.
This is a military operation and you should follow the orders of your military leader. I'm a military man. I've been asked by the military leader, who is Falcon, to go and scout with Nikron. We should follow our orders. Through serving diligently and through the following of orders is how we will come together to defeat our enemies. Follow your orders, do them well, do them to the best of your abilities, and you will soon find yourself at the head or at the lead of a charge where you can do those heroic things that you want. Right now, you're at risk of becoming an AWOL soldier, which just takes more resources trying to find you than help. Head back to Falcon, follow your orders.
Make a persuasion check.
Can I assist?
Nope.
Damn it. Can I do a performance check so I do a little dance?
If I knew playing as Pell was an option, I would have made a Pell character.
My persuasion at -1 gets me to 15.
Oh, nice. Mine was +3 and I managed to get 5.
So you don't want me to go with you?
No. Head home and follow orders.
Now is not your time.
But
Right now, it's our time. It's our time up here.
I don't even need you anyway. You go wait. And kind of kicks the dirt a little bit and turns around. Don't need you. I'm gonna be. One day you'll see. I'm gonna be big. I'm gonna be strong. I'm gonna be the best thing that this town has. And he kind of walks off and you can see a lonely tear fall down his face. He's trying to hide it, but he kind of walks off and stoically pulls out his sword in a minute, and you see him up against the tree just hacking the shit out of a tree.
No good warrior would do that to their sword.
Haven't you done that?
Stiff upper lip, boy.
And you move off into the south.
JR would have handled that so much better.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he would have. Pity he's dead.
Uh-huh.
And that brings us to the end of an episode. An
Oh.
episode that we don't get to meet a new character. An episode where we don't get to see someone. I don't know how people
An
thought.
episode where we didn't get much dialogue.
I tried. I was talking as fast as I can.
You know, the last time he was on an episode, I'd cut out like a second in between the gaps and it was still too long.
I don't think you understand this character.
The last time we get the chat GPT to DM for us.
It is interesting because there's probably a lot of people that were like, you know, that was the perfect moment to introduce a new character. You went to an inn, should not have a character been in there. No, I don't like introducing characters in inns. I don't think that's where a meet cute should happen.
You just don't want me to have another character because you're afraid.
That's correct.
You're afraid.
Yeah. It's look, I think the problem is that everyone expects this to be a three-person party, but when somebody dies, they're gone. It's up to the survivors to just move on and be alone. And if Lindsey has to sit there for 7, 8, 20, 30 more episodes,
You haven't heard Mikey chirp. He's just been sitting there nicely waiting and waiting.
and let that be a lesson to
There
you
is a
all.
queue. There's an orderly queue forming around
He
his
has
table.
been waiting.
Sorry, I'm just colouring in.
Just colouring in. Well, thanks for being patient, Lindsay.
No worries.
You know, I'll probably kill you in the morning.